So, how do you compare to other Americans financially? Will you be prepared to retire comfortably? Now, this is a very concerning question that I've been receiving more and more lately, and today I'm going to share with you guys some information that I think you're going to find very interesting. Like how much does the average person get in Social Security, SSI, and SSDI payments? How much money does the average person have saved? When does the average person retire? Things like that. Now, be sure to stay until the end because one of the things that I'm going to share with you guys is over the last 40 years, what happened to the average retirement age? And I think you're going to be very surprised when you hear the numbers, and we're going to talk about that and what you can do to improve your financial standing. I was really shocked by this information, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, so one of the most common questions that people ask about this particular topic all the time, is what is the average American making? What is the average salary? Now, the average salary is about $1,000 a week, and if you think about a 40-hour work week, it's a little over $1,000 a week, so it's closer to about $26 an hour, which is what the average American is making, and that's anyone over 18 years old. So there are definitely some lower paid entry-level positions in there, but there's also some pretty higher paid positions, after people build up their skill sets. So again, the median individual salary for a full-time worker, now this is the median, which is different from the average, right? So average, if you had 99 people that were all making, say, $50,000 a year, then the average would be $50,000. But if you added like one more person, and let's just say that person happened to be Bill Gates or Elon Musk to the list, then you're going to dramatically skew the average. But they're not going to dramatically skew the median. So the median is half the people make more and half of the people make less. And so that's why, again, I decided to share the median, and again, that's $1,000 a week. Now, what is the median amount that Americans have saved for retirement? And this is for all the people over the age of 18 years old that have at least one bank account. So for Americans without bank accounts, without brokerage accounts, without investment accounts, they're not going to show up in this data. But the average American has saved $65,000 either saved in a bank account or saved in an investment brokerage account. So the average person over the age of 18 years old that has an account, that has a bank account, the average American has $65,000 saved. And you know what? This is actually a very scary number when you think about how much it actually takes to be able to retire. Now, I would like to hope that the viewers of my channel are doing a whole lot better than this, but again, I just wanted to share what the numbers are. All right, so Social Security. What does the average American get in Social Security benefits? Well, according to the Social Security Administration, the median American payment from Social Security once they retire is $1,550. So right around $21,000 a year. Now, again, I should have said, this is the median. Now, this is not the average. This is not the median household. This is the average person. And you can find out what your likely payment is going to be by going to the Social Security Administration's website. They also send you your Social Security statement where you can kind of get a feel for where you're at, retirement age right now, based on your work history, based on your previous salary history, and what you would likely be getting paid. All right, so the average spending is $67,000 a year, and the largest expense of that is coming from housing, and housing tends to be just under $2,000. It's actually $1,900 a month. Transportation is actually the second largest expense, and that is just under $1,000 per month. It's actually $900 a month. And then food ends up being about $700 per month, and about 60 to 70% of that is actually spent at home. The other is spent eating out. So that's the average spending. And you can see if the average American worker is making $1,000 a week and the average spending is $67,000, you can see how it's getting harder and harder in America just to kind of get ahead, to save, and just even survive. These numbers are real, so you have to ask yourself, are you tired of living paycheck to paycheck? Dreaming of the day when you can actually retire comfortably and spend more time with your loved ones? Do you feel like there's just never enough time in a day to read the books that could actually help you to achieve financial freedom? That's where Audible comes in. With a vast selection of audiobooks, including the bestsellers, new releases, celebrity memoirs, mysteries and thrillers, motivation, wellness, business, and more. Audible makes it easy to listen to your favorite books on the go. I mean, just imagine learning how to make multiple streams of income through side hustles, finding the best stocks that pay regular dividends, or any other passive income methods, all while commuting to work, working out, doing chores, or just relaxing at home. You've got to check out Rich Dad Poor Dad, Surrounded by Idiots, and Stuff They Don't Want You to Know. These and many more audiobooks all available on Audible. And it's not just books. With Audible, you can also get access to a growing selection of included audiobooks, Audible originals, and tons of entertaining podcasts like The Last Days of August, Pod Bible Podcast, The Light Podcast, and more. Plus, as an Audible member, you get one title per month to keep from the entire catalog, including the latest bestsellers and new releases. With Audible's newly included selection of titles, you are for sure to discover discover new favorites and new formats like the exclusive Words Plus music series or podcast. But don't take my word for it. And now you can try Audible for free for 30 days using the link in the description down below in this video. And as a member, you'll have the opportunity to choose one title per month to keep with full access of the growing selection of included audiobooks, Audible originals, and podcasts. You can download or listen to included titles as much as you want, making it easier than ever to fit learning and personal development into your busy schedule. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for your free 30-day trial of Audible today and start listening to the books that can change your life and help you to achieve your financial freedom goals. With hundreds of thousands of titles to choose from and new formats being added all the time, Audible has something for everyone. I just love good quality entertainment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to transform your life and achieve the financial freedom that you deserve. Click the link in the description down below and start your free 30-day trial of Audible today. But I think the area that most people can start saving money without actually feeling the sacrifice too much might be with the car, right? Now, I'd be surprised if my transportation, and that includes your car insurance, the gasoline, that includes maintenance, but I will be really surprised if it's over $500 a month for me simply because I don't mind buying used cars. Now, it also helps that I don't have a car payment. I don't mind buying a quality used car that's a couple of years old with 40, 50,000 miles on it, still under bumper to bumper warranty or powertrain warranty. I like for that steep depreciation to go away, and then I like driving my cars for a while. Keeping them well maintained. I also choose certain makes and models because they have an excellent reputation for reliability, build quality, and having a lower rate of depreciation. Just drop me a comment down below if you'd like to know the types of cars that I like to buy so that I can get deep discounts on and that last forever. Hit me up in the comments down below, you guys. And I don't share this because I think my way is the best way. I just think that for a lot of us, we could start saving money, maybe $400. We could start saving $400 a month, which would be about $5,000 a year. And you can see based on a $50,000 median individual income that saving $5,000 a year is a 10% savings rate. That's a pretty good start. So just give that some thought. It might not work for you, but it might. I just like to share good information. I hope this helps. Okay, the median household net worth. Now, household net worth is different from your savings. Savings is what you have in your retirement account and your bank account, stuff like that. But your net worth, and let me use an example, is the value of your assets minus the value of your liability. So if you have a $400,000 house and you owe $300,000 on that, if that was your only asset and your only debt, your only liability, then it would be your $400,000 house minus your $300,000 mortgage. So your net worth, which would be the difference, would be $100,000. So I hope that makes sense. So again, the median household, not the individual, but the median household net worth is $122,000. And how does that break out by age? Now, I think a lot of people are going to find this super interesting. Hopefully, as we get older, we start building up our net worth. We've had a chance to save up for a down payment for a house. We've had a chance to buy a house. And I mentioned the house just because that's how a lot of us start saving, building up our net worth with a house. So as we get older, hopefully we can buy a house and hopefully we can start paying it down and hopefully the house appreciates. Now here's how the numbers break down for people that are under 35 years of age. So the median household net worth, not individual, but the median household net worth is $15,000. Now if you're 35 to 44 years old, the median household net worth is $91,000. So now you're approaching that $100,000 mark. Okay, so 45 to 54 is $168,000. Now in your 40s is when you want that asset base to really start growing so that you have several decades before you retire for that money to really start working harder for you, building passive income, and that way they're putting more dollar bills into your bank account. Now, I hope that makes sense. So as your net worth builds, as your retirement savings builds, as that starts to grow and compound, it can actually increase the value of your account, the value of your net worth, more than the money that you're actually putting into the account. Now again, 45 to 54 years old is $168,000 median household net worth. Now 55 to 64, you can really see how it continues to tick up to $212,000 net worth. Then you got 65 to 74 years old at $266,000. So that's how the median household net worth, not individual, but household net worth averages out to $122,000, but it tops out at 65 to 74 years old. And be sure to stay to the end because we got one more data point that I'm going to share with you guys. Now, what's happened with the average retirement age in the United States, and for me, it was eye-opening. It was shocking. So definitely stay tuned. By the way, if you like this video and if you found this information helpful, just take a quick second, hit the like button for me. It really does help other people find these videos. Also, leave me a comment. I love reading you guys' comments. Appreciate that, you guys. All right, so let's keep going. So what is the average savings rate in the United States? Now, the average savings rate in the United States is 6%. And I think, there's a rule of thumb a lot of us have grown up with that said, I think our parents might have taught us this: be good with your money and save 10% of whatever you earn. And I think that's a pretty good place to start. Now, obviously, the average American at 6% is below that. But I think, and I know it's aspirational, I think 20% is a better goal, a better aspirational goal for us to have. And I know a lot of you guys might be thinking, how am I ever going to start saving 20%? That's a big number. And I think that there's two ways for most of us that are already working. I think one way to look at this is to consider your raises. Now, as you get a raise, there's money that you'll spend for your current self and money that you'll save for your future self. So think about your raise as half for you today and the other half for you in the future. Hopefully this makes sense. Now, additionally, if you're a recent college grad or just learned a craft and landed your first job where you're starting to make what we call real money, consider not increasing your lifestyle all the way up to what your current salary can afford. You were living as a poor student for a while, so you could probably step your lifestyle up quite a bit and it'll still feel great without starting to spend all of what you make. Okay, so hopefully that's helpful. Now, the last thing that I want to share with you guys, which I shared earlier about the car payment, is that buying a used car instead of a new car and keeping a car a couple more years if we've already bought a used car, this can really help us out. So those are my ideas on saving more. Now, again, the average American savings rate is 6% of what they make. Okay, so now on to what I promised. So the average retirement age. Now, I graduated in 1998, so I know things have changed a little bit, but I got some information from two different sources, both Forbes and Yahoo Finance. So what is the average retirement age for men? Well, currently it is 65 years old, and for women it's 62 years old, at least according to Forbes magazine, and that's currently, what it is right now. So again, 65 years old for men and 62 years old for women. But I was interested, what was the retirement rate 30 or 40 years ago? So I found some data on Yahoo Finance from 1986 for Americans. So in 1986, the average age for retirement for men was 62 years old, and for women it was 57 years old. So you can see for men it's gone from the average retirement age of 62 to 65, and for women it's gone from the average retirement age of 57 back then all the way up to age 62 now. So that's a big difference. And I think that there's a couple of factors at play here. So one is hopefully that we're healthier and that we don't feel the need to retire too soon. Now, of course, if you're in a job where you're doing hard physical labor or you're on your feet all day long, then your body can only do so much. So hopefully the reason that these folks in these situations that are working longer is that they're healthier and that they just don't mind working more years. Now, unfortunately, I suspect that part of this is that, it's just harder to make it here in America today for the average family. Now, I think that there's really becoming a dichotomy here. There are the office workers, the knowledge workers that have done really well, and then the service economy that has lagged, unfortunately, behind that. So I think that there's two factors at play here. So again, in 1986, men were retiring at 62 years old, but now the retirement age for men is 65 on average. And in 1986, women were retiring at 57, but now more of them are retiring at age 62. So 5 more working years. That's a big difference. And I just want to close out with this one. If you're 60 years old, I really want you guys to start thinking about how you're spending your time. I want you to think about, the cost of working one more year. Now, for many people, that's just a reality. You got to do what you got to do. Now, if you agree, drop me a quick comment and say amen. And while you guys are down there, don't forget to check out the hundreds of thousands of titles available on Audible. Members also get full access to a growing selection of included audiobooks, Audible originals, and podcasts. You can download or listen to Audible included titles as much as you want, so be sure to get your free 30-day trial of Audible by clicking the link in the description down below this video. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Be safe.